here is the overview you were looking for. Boss, reason number 1. Credit card issuers cannot verify your startup business name. This is so important, and this is so easy to actually fix also. See, the whole thing is, boss, if you are a sole proprietor applying for a business credit card for your startup, you can apply using your legal name. Not a problem there, right? But if you are an LLC, or let's say you are a corporation or a partnership, you will need to put your legal business name on the application. So make sure that whatever name you put on the application for the credit card matches what you have in state records, because the credit card issuer will reflexively, they have procedures in place, by the way, so they will verify the information with your state government. So if the business name on your credit card application does not match the name registered with the state, the credit card issuer is not likely to approve your application. So this is really important. So make sure that you state your startup business name clearly and accurately. Reason number 1, banks cannot verify your startup business name. Reason number 2, your startup business is not in good standing with the state government. Okay, I want you to keep in mind that some banks will require registered businesses and startups to have a certificate of good standing with their state department. Okay, so this applies if you are registered as a corporation, an LLC, or a partnership. So this means that your company's paperwork is up to date and that you have paid all renewal fees. Even if you are a startup, some states might require you to actually pay some fees every now and then. It can be yearly, it can be quarterly, it can be every 6 months. So having a certificate of good standing means what? Means that you are legally allowed to conduct business in the state. Okay, so if you're a startup and you don't have this certificate, this could mean that you are not in compliance with state regulations. And because of this negative status, you might be denied a startup business credit card. So please be very careful about that. And there is something called a registered agent. So if you are a startup, you want to make sure that you actually have a registered agent who will take care of making sure that you have the certificate of good standing that your startup needs. And it's not just for a business credit card application. You need that status for several other things. Reason number 3, your startup does not have an employer identification number. So this is called EIN. Okay. So when we talk about an employer identification number, this is really important. The thing is, if you're a sole proprietor, you're not required to have an EIN when applying for a business credit card. You can apply using your social security number only, but we actually advise everybody to have an EIN, every business. Even if you're a sole proprietor, you can apply for an EIN, not a problem. One thing you need to remember, boss, is that if you are, let's say, an LLC, a partnership, a corporation, it doesn't matter if you're a single member LLC, you are required to provide an EIN. And an EIN is kind of similar to a social, right? But it is a 9-digit number that the IRS actually will issue to you. It's very easy. Okay, it's very easy. Don't let anybody dazzle you, asking you to pay for an EIN. You can do it yourself. Just go to the IRS websites, and you have to fill in some information. Plan to spend about 10 minutes in one sitting to actually finish the whole application. Okay, don't start and actually come back. No, you can do everything in one sitting. Try to do it in 10 minutes, and you get it. So at the end, the IRS will show you your number, and they will send you a couple of weeks later in the mail via USPS mail your official EIN approval letter. Reason number 4, the credit card issuer cannot verify your startup business's phone number. This is really important. When we talk about having a phone number, you make sure that you put the phone number that actually, again, is in sync with whatever you have in state documentation. Okay, but business credit card applications also ask for a business phone number, especially for startups. This information allows the issuing bank to get in contact with you. Depending on the bank, an underwriter or a credit card issuer may verify this number by calling the business, and they may even confirm whether the number is listed with 411. So having a non-listed telephone number or having, let's say, a different number attached to your startup business can raise red flags and hurt your approval chances. Okay, so if you haven't already, you want to list your phone number with telephone directories and make sure existing listings are accurate. This is really important. It doesn't matter if you're a startup out of your house or a startup out of an office, a regular office, you still need to have a business phone number. Reason number 5, your startup business does not have a commercial address. By the way, I want to quickly remind you, boss, of today's topic. We're having a conversation about startup business credit card application denied, the top 10 reasons why this could happen, and what you could do about those reasons, okay? And so if your business doesn't have if your startup business doesn't have a commercial address, this could be a problem. Now, by the way, when we talk about commercial address, I just want to reiterate the fact that you can actually work from home. But the thing is that you can actually have a commercial address with, let's say, a virtual mailbox provider, for example. Okay, so that when the business is verified, when the credit card issuer is verifying your address, they see that you do have a legit commercial address. So think about virtual mailbox, virtual business address. We have covered this on other shows. It is legit. It is real. Okay. So sole proprietors can apply for a business credit card using their home address in general. The rules are different, though, if you have an LLC, corporation, or partnership. With these businesses, getting business credit often requires a commercial address. So, and one thing you need to remember also is that some card issuers do not allow PO boxes or residential locations. Reason number 6 why you have been denied a business credit card for your startup: you haven't been in business long enough. Now, the thing here is that there's nothing you can do about it. If you're a startup and the credit card issuer say, listen, I want you to be in business for 2 years, there's nothing you can do about it, because listen, it's like, I'm 5 years old and you are asking me to be 7 years old. I can't be 7 years old because it is chronologically impossible. So you have to actually accept that chronological reality and maybe look for another business credit card issuer. So if a business credit card issuer says, listen, I want you to be in business for 2 years or 3 years or whatnot, and you have been in business only for 6 months, okay, go to the next credit card issuer. Okay, there's nothing you can do about it. And sometimes we tell our viewers and our business clients, for that matter, to always start where they know you. So you can start at your local bank, you can start at your local credit union, where you have already built some kind of relationship at the personal level, so that even if you're a startup, because they know you personally already, they can actually extend to you a business credit card on because of that relationship. You can parlay a positive personal relationship into a business relationship. Reason number 7, you don't have a business credit report. This could be a biggie also. The thing is that, listen, if you don't have a business credit profile, it is what it is, right? You are new, you're a startup, and so the credit card issuer just said, listen, I want you to have a Paydex score of 85. Okay, And your question is, what is Paydex in the first place, right? So you're kind of asking questions about what you can do to actually move forward. But the thing is that everything goes back. You have to go back to Dun & Bradstreet, because they're the ones, that's the company that issues your Paydex reports and Paydex score. And you want to get your DUNS number first. So your DUNS number is a unique number that you get from Dun & Bradstreet, and everything starts from there. So your Paydex score is based on that DUNS number. So you want to register with Dun & Bradstreet. You want to do the same thing with Experian Business and Equifax. So the thing I'm trying to say here is that you want to be in their directories. You want to be in their databases. Okay, that's how everything starts. Now, if you don't have a business credit profile, this goes back to it's kind of similar to what I said earlier about not being in business long enough. Because if you don't have net 30 vendors, or you don't have no open business loans or business credit cards, there's nothing you can do about that. You just have to move to the next credit card issuer. Okay, but yeah, but the thing is, ideally, you want to start building business credit as soon as you get in business. And reason number 8, this is kind of similar to the previous one. You have a thin credit profile. And so here we're not speaking about your business credit. This could also be your personal credit. In other words, the credit card issuer is looking at your whole application, both personally and business wise, and they're just thinking, you know what, the risk is just too high. We can't approve this person because, you know, he or she doesn't have business credit or personal credit. Okay, so the risk is too high, so you could be denied. And the thing is that this happens a lot when you have youngsters, when you have let's say young adults, 18 to 21, trying to open a business and applying for a business credit card for their startup. Because at that age, not only you're too young for having a personal credit score established, but also a business credit score. So those are exceptional circumstances that will actually generate a denial. You have a low credit score. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. I'm still having a convo with you about startup business credit card application denied, the top 10 reasons why this could happen and what you could do about them. Okay. And so if you have a low credit score, there's nothing you can do in the short run. Having a low credit score means what? You want to go back to the origins, as we usually say in our jargon. You want to go back to your FICO score, and actually you want to go granular here. Why are you having a low score? Go back to annualcreditreport.com. You want to pull you do have access. You are entitled to one free credit score and free credit report per year. So go back to your scores again, and this applies across the board to your TransUnion credit report, to your Equifax credit report, to your Experian credit report. So you want to actually go granular, having a clear idea about what really happens. What are the regulatory items? What are the things that are pulling you down? If you don't want to go through annualcreditreport.com, you can actually get the same information by looking at right now on your personal credit card statements. A lot of credit card issuers, they have, for the last 3 to 4 years, they have started actually providing customers with their credit score. So when you have your statement right at the bottom, or sometimes it could be at the top, left or right, they will put your credit score. So those are great places to have to collect intel about your own credit worthiness, right? You want to know where you stand. So this is really important. And reason number 10, you did not provide an entity status. This is also really important. Why? Because the lender is trying to, the credit card issuer is trying to they're trying to gauge your risk level. Because if you are an LLC versus a sole proprietorship, the risk levels and the risk levels for you are different. The risk levels for the credit card issuer are different. For example, in terms of if something were to happen, if you're an LLC, your personal assets are protected. So the credit card issuer knows that he or she cannot actually touch those in a legal proceeding. But if you are a sole proprietorship, then you are exposed, quote unquote, right? So leaving out pertinent details can also cause a rejection. So make sure you complete the application with your entity status. So you must provide the type of business, such as sole proprietorship, partnership, LLC, etc. If you do not include an entity status, the credit card issuer may deny your application. Let me give you a few pro tips. I want to help you improve your chances of getting a startup business credit card, okay? And the thing is that you want to review your personal and business credit reports. And this should be automatic. Boss, son, daughter, uncle, aunt, grandpa, grandma, mom, dad, everybody here. You want to start by reviewing your personal and business credit reports. If you are a startup and you have no business credit reports, that's fine. But at least you want to start by registering with Dun & Bradstreet and getting your DUNS number. This is actually, this is so important. We should not even been talking about it here. So you want to review your personal credit reports also, okay? And the second thing is, don't forget to ask the credit card company to reconsider. There's something called reconsideration process, okay? And you can plead your case and ask the credit card issuer, credit card company to reconsider. And quite frequently, computers deny credit card applications. That's why we always say on this show, if you have a startup and you are looking for a business credit card for your young company, it's always better to go to a branch. It's always better to speak to a live person. Nowadays people are so busy, everybody just trying to do things quickly. We have 9 to 5, we have 9 to 9, and we don't have time to go to a branch and have a conversation with the live person, especially when it comes to credit decisions. It's so critical to talk to someone, okay? When a human takes a closer look at your application, he or she may decide that you are eligible and manually approve your application. So if you deny because of missing information, a human can also verify this and give you an opportunity to update the application. So when appealing a rejection though, you will need to present a strong case, very important. Maybe you left off household income or accidentally provided inaccurate information regarding years or months in business for that matter, company address, identification numbers, and so on and so forth. So the point here is that if you are if you are considering this process, if you want to ask the credit card company to reconsider your startup business credit card application, make sure that you have a stronger case. You have done your homework, boss. This is not something you have to attack lightly. You want to take the time to actually plan. You want to plot the right strategy to make sure that the second time around you are approved, no questions asked. The third thing I want you to do, if you're trying to improve your chances of getting a business credit card for your startup, you might want to have a plan to improve your credit score. Let's say you got denied because you have a low FICO score, okay? So you have spent the time, you went to annualcreditreport.com, you contacted Equifax, you reached out to Experian, you reached out to TransUnion, and you were trying to fix some derogatory items, you filed dispute letters, and so on and so forth, okay? That's for the past, right? Because first thing first, you need to fix whatever happened in the past. That's kind of cool. My question to you is, what are you doing now? And what are your plans for the future? That means what? You want to start paying your bills on time, boss. Because you got to go back to the origins and see why your credit score went down in the first place. And you want to actually be in a situation where you're not repeating the same mistakes. Boss, this is important. Things happened in the past, okay, been there, done that, everybody goes through stuff, right? Now that you know that whatever happens actually led to something detrimental to you, you have to start learning from that process and make sure that you don't repeat the same mistake again. Paying your bills on time, pay down existing debt, okay? You want to monitor your credit utilization ratio. This is something that could be really helpful. You want to make sure that you don't apply, I would say, you don't apply constantly for a new credit card or a new business loan or whatever. No, because those hard inquiries are actually dinging your credit score. They are dinging your FICO score. They are detrimental to your credit report in general. Another thing I want you to do is to consider other options for a startup business credit card. Yeah. Think about, for example, getting a line of credit. Maybe you could qualify for a startup business line of credit at your local bank or credit union. Okay, you can try to maybe ask for a secured business credit card if you do have the cash to collateralize the secured credit card, at least in the beginning, because the thing is that some banks want you to have a startup business credit card that is secured first. And then later on, based on a responsible use of your business credit card, they might want to upgrade you. They might want you to graduate you to unsecured business credit card, but they want you to start as a secured card. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I was just talking to you about startup business credit card application denied, the top 10 reasons why this could be. Just want to quickly recap here. So banks cannot verify your business name. Your business is not in good standing with the state authorities. You don't have an employer identification number. The bank cannot verify your business phone number. Your startup business does not have a commercial address. You have not been in business long enough. You don't have a business credit report. you have a thin credit profile, you have a low credit score, and you did not provide an entity status. And I just gave you a few pro tips on how to actually improve your chances of getting a startup business credit card. Thank you. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.